Hello, it's Grant Cameron, and this is a presentation that I'm doing today called Light Language Bonus. The other night we had a presentation on light language where I brought in about 8 people who had learned light language or had been taught light language, which some describe as a language that is an alien language, an angelic language, a spirit language. And during that presentation, there was a number of videos that I was not able to show. So today I'm adding a little section to that presentation that'll be at my White House UFO YouTube channel. And in this presentation, I'm going to show the videos that I was not able to show that night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to show a PowerPoint presentation. So here we are with the presentation Light Language Bonus. And as I said, language is a very strange phenomena that has just appeared. A number of people report suddenly being able to do this. They really don't understand what's going on. A lot of people tie it into the fact that they are UFO experiencers and that they have been taught this by some sort of alien intelligence. Some people can speak up to 20 different light languages that we had on the panel. People from all around the world. This is not just an American phenomena. And this will just give you a few more people than were on the panel who were not able to attend. The first one I want to present a video from Annetta, who's from Macedonia, who I interviewed. And her interview will be on my White House UFO Grant Cameron YouTube channel. Annetta had a lot of experience with UFOs, particularly with orbs. She's had a number of direct encounters with alien type beings, done thousands of photographs. And the video I'm going to show right now is a video that she talks about where she got a photograph and she had an encounter with 2 alien beings, very small beings, with her 29-year-old son. And the beings were talking to each other, or actually singing to each other, very, very loudly in a light language. So here's the video that I did, the interview I did with Annetta, as she describes this encounter with light language and alien beings.
How many encounters have you had with beings in terms of, and you'll probably get into who you think they are?
Well, I don't know who they are, but I think that there are 3 types of beings. I had the contact with this one that I showed you.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is, where he comes from. It didn't hurt me. Did anything bad to me.
Yeah.
The other one, unfortunately, I have pictures on the other device also.
Mm-hmm.
They're very small, and they were talking to each other. You know, yes, it was amazing. And my son also heard them, and they were talking like they were singing to each other.
Oh.
I've heard this light language, your videos you have, but the language that they talked, it was more musical, it was like they are singing.
Oh, I'll send you one today. I just got one from a girl in Scotland that we interviewed, Tress, and she sings that she's in contact with feline beings, and she sings, and some people write it, and some people can write and sing it. So I've heard the singing as well. So they were sort of singing. Did it sound like that sort of the light language that you've heard from some of my videos?
Yes, I think yes.
Are you able to do light language or automatic writing? Have you ever done any of that kind of stuff where your hand just sort of moves? No.
No, never tried. Never tried. No, I just heard them. These 2 guys.
Wow.
And my son too. We heard them both, and they were speaking loud. I mean, they were singing loud. It was speak for them.
Wow.
Was singing for us.
Well, what did your son think?
Well, he was at the beginning. He was skeptic But after that, he started to see the pinks in the house.
Oh.
First he was afraid.
Yeah.
And after that, he used not to be afraid.
Yeah.
And now, together with me, sometimes he go outside and we make some C5.
Yeah.
And I think he's doing well.
Wow.
Now, the next one I want to describe is a woman from the United Kingdom, Nicola Farmer, who is doing some very important research. Her direct experience is not aliens. She is a medium in Great Britain who is doing very important research that I think is basically at a Nobel Prize winning level, if it is what it appears to be. And what she's doing is she is teaching young children younger than 12 how to read with blindfolds on. And these kids have heightened visual abilities, heightened audio abilities. Two of the children say that they can hear things a mile away. And what I believe she's creating is the type of heightened awareness that is found in out-of-body experiences and near-death experiences. People who have near-death experience will say that their ability to see and hear was better than it was in normal. And the question is, where are people seeing if they're having a near-death experience? People will say part of the brain is still active. That explains nothing. It's just a placeholder. It's just nonsense being made up. Because when you have a near-death experience, your eyes are closed. Therefore, you should not see anything, no matter whether your brain is working or not working. You can't see when your eyes are closed. But people who have near-death experiences will report exactly what the doctor looked like, what the nurse looked like, who was in the room, exactly what they were doing. And according to one study, 97 point whatever % accurate in what they're describing. So it appears that there is a second mechanism for sight. There's the one through the eyes, and then there's a secondary system of seeing, which Nicola seems to be producing with these children. And it is also apparently being done in India, this training of children to see through blindfolds. And it's also apparently being done in the state of Utah. So this is material that will, I think, be very, very important. And it may actually be able to help people who are blind or people who can't hear. Because if there's a secondary system for hearing and sight, we can activate this by using this training that they're doing. And I actually proposed this to Nicola, and I said, this whole idea of blind people, and she said she had actually done it already, and she had had some success. So I think it's very important research. And here's a video. First, I'm going to show a video here, and then I'm going to go to a second video. The first video is of one of these children reading a storybook with this blindfold on. And then the second video is when we were doing the interview, Nicola stated that she could do light language as well. So the second video you're going to see is Nicola doing going into trance and speaking light language.
Sit.
Cinderella put on her beautiful dress. She put on her beautiful shoes. Now I can go to the ball, she said.
Beautiful. Tell me what's on that page.
Her fairy godmother, Cinderella. I think that's a snake.
Looks like it.
And a horse, snake, and a pumpkin.
Point to the black cat for me.
There.
Very clever girl. Well done.
And there's the castle.
It is.
The prince danced with Cinderella. After the ball, the prince found Cinderella's shoe.
Wonderful.
I will marry the girl who will fit this shoe, he said. The prince came to Cinderella's house.
Beautiful.
Is this your shoe? He said. Yes, this is my shoe, said the first stepsister. but the shoe did not fit.
Tell me how many plates are on the shelf.
5.
Point to them for me. Count them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Very good girl. Well done. Beautiful.
Is this your shoe? Said the prince. Yes, this is my shoe, said the second stepsister, but the shoe did not fit.
Clever girl. Well done. Beautiful reading.
Is this your shoe? Said the prince. Yes, said Cinderella. She put on the shoe and it fit.
Wow.
Will you marry me? Said the prince. Yes, said Cinderella. So she did.
So dy don dy brech iaith ar o ddolaeth y modair a faes yn o dori. Fa cyn y rad yr mod i dad sydd y gap I hir a ddysyn o'n ddymor y dau. Fog o ddysur o'r o'r dad y cyn y dor mi sydd y gai cy dorth y dau. Fa'n yn y dor y gyw byd a sy'n yn lachar yn o dori. Fa'n asar a ddeith i'n yn dor o golyn bysig gyda di dad yn ôl ffwys y dau. Fa'n yn nhw gorau. Mosur yn o'r arestyn o'n loedd chiab o ffaith ar yn di. Gan bod y godoes o dod, bydd gan o dara si, gan o da godoes o bo. Pan ein ti gyda si mor o cyrraedd allar, cyrraedd sy'n rhywun gyda da, cyrraedd mwyn sy'n rhaid i dweud gyda bwysig dweud, gan o'n o godoes amol, godoes hi ar bag ar ei seid y dan o'r. Dan o'n godoes o dod, a thaffer i mor o gyn mor sy'n rhaid gyda, gyda bod o'n godoes hi ar ei gyfod, ma'n o drodd a siara, fi gyda o'n dod o'r mor di, dan y sy'n gyda bach oed, ar o'n un yn lach gyda bwysig o'r o'n, a bydd ar ei Faith gan o does ar o dymwyd o fa hi hun na da.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Beautiful. Wonderful. It sounds like one of the other ones I've heard. I'm going to have to, I guess I'll have to gather them all together and listen to them to see. Yeah, it's fascinating material. And what's your interpretation of what's going on in terms of light language?
Oh, you've just reminded me what I was going to tell you.
Okay.
In terms of light language, to me, just say to me in a minute 5G.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. In terms of light language, what I feel is that you know that we have earth seeds and star seeds.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So what I feel is that star seed humans are being, their vibration is being altered so that we're aligning with the vibration of who we are in preparation of leaving Earth at the end of this lifetime permanently.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So in being able to speak different forms of light language and like draw the codes and interpret light language, I believe that we're bringing that vibration through a language that will either be interpreted or not, but it's bringing a vibration to ignite or attune people to their own vibration in order to prepare them for what's coming next as well.
Now this is Tress. Tress is an experiencer, UFO experiencer in Scotland who I interviewed, did a long interview. It'll also be at my White House UFO YouTube channel. And Tress had a number of interesting things that she had the ability. She claims to be one of 6,000 children who are put on Earth. She claims to have interactions with a feline race. The one thing that she did describe very accurately is she is one of 50 people that I have, and I think I'm the only one that has actually done the research on this, people who claim to have flown the flying saucer. And when Tress described it, she described exactly what everybody else described. And very bizarre procedure. This is not something you're going to make up. You have to have actually flown the craft, because otherwise you'd say a bunch of stupid things. They all describe the same thing. So Tress described flying the saucer, but she is one of the people who can sing light language. Light language comes usually by people who speak it, but you'll see some people who write it. I'm going to show some during this presentation. And there's a number of people who can sing it. Tress is one of the people who can sing it. Here is part of a song that she sang, produced for me. This is a song about the home planet that she is from. So here's Tress from Scotland singing light language.
The calling of the planets from far off in the universe. They come and they stand with me and they listen, and we are one. We are all together.
Now this is Nina. Nina is from France. Nina has had a lot of encounters with the intelligence behind the UFO phenomena, a lot of visual sightings of faces at a microscopic and a large sort of macroscopic level. And she is one of the people who can write light language. So I'm going to show you a video here right now of her writing light language, and you can see it's moving very, very fast. She filled in sort of an entire book full of this stuff. Really doesn't know what the writing means. She had earlier done channeled, this is called automatic writing from deceased people, and was very Christian and really felt uncomfortable channeling from dead people. Stopped doing that, but then later, as this UFO contact increased, she started to do this automatic writing of this light language. So here's Nina from, it's just outside of Paris, demonstrating this writing of light language. Light language goes back an awful long way. This is automatic writing from the 1950s. This is Francis Swan, who became famous. U.S. Navy intelligence had a huge file on her, which we were never able to recover. There was actually a letter sent to President Eisenhower about her. FBI had a file on her. CIA had a file on her. U.S. Air Force had a file on her, and the Canadian government, Wilbur Brockhouse Smith, who ran the Canadian government UFO program, was using Francis Swan to make contact with an alien by the name of AFA. This contact, Francis Swan actually taught a Navy intelligence officer to make this contact, and he went to the National Photographic Interpretation Center, which was the CIA building where they analyzed all the U-2, the SR-71, and the spy photographs, or satellite photographs. And it was there that the Navy intelligence guy went into trance and talked to AFA, the alien, and they were all told to go to the window, and this object during the day flew past the window and over the Capitol. So automatic writing has been done by a number of people. The Mission Rama people, a lot of them, most of them will do this, get messages through automatic writing. And what they do is these C5 encounters where they have to have two people who have the same message, came through automatic writing, and it will tell them exactly where and when the UFO sighting will take place. They called it a programmed encounter, and so they use it as well. So this idea of automatic writing coming from outside of the human conscious mind is not an old thing. It goes back into this. This is the early 1950s. 1952, I believe, is when Francis Swan started to get these encounters, or 1954. No, pardon me. 1954 is when the encounters started. This is Emma. Emma is not public. She put a bunch of stuff on the internet. I found it very, very interesting. I'm going to show you a video of her doing light language. She sets up a camera in the kitchen, goes and stands on the far wall, does this light language, talks this light language, goes and turns the camera off. And she has a bunch of these, same shot every time. And then she has some in the bedroom where she's got orbs flying around the bedroom. And I'm going to show you first the one with where she's in the kitchen, and what you'll see is these orbs flying through the frame as she starts to talk, and they start to intensify. These orbs flying back and forth, and at the 1:34, there's a large one. I'll show you just a second. That flies through the frame. Now, in the 1960s. G. Allen Hynek, when they had these orb objects, maybe as big as a car, a small car, he called them swamp gas, and he took a lot of hit for it. His career was sort of permanently damaged by this. But now we've gone to all sorts of other explanations of pieces of dust and moisture in the air, people sneezing, and it's the left brain interpreter making up all sorts of nonsense about trying to explain this bizarre phenomena of orbs. So here's Emma doing light language. She really doesn't explain what she's doing. She just sets up the camera and then she puts it on the internet. And she has not been on the internet for at least 3 years. So she just put it up there and then disappeared. So here's Emma doing light language and a bunch of orbs flying through the painting, or through the screen as she talks. Here's the big huge one at about 1:34 that flies through the frame. You see this purple object comes past her and flies towards the camera and flies out the other side. So here's the video of her doing this light language.
Okay, we're going to speak just a little bit about, I'm going to take in the language this morning. Ochandanda kosudre jishira manero tishurare. Osake pato ya. O manya da to kle pechitera pesir koshitera manera tata. We are shoko here shitwa. On the Dimadora Sheta. On the Dimadora Kishida Basaro Kitchen manera Kishida Basaro Lady, rest of Rabasiko Rakan or Cash in Babatore. And you go Ashumba. Osako atatala chichirani, Okozidia, Joto attention, Ototalachi, Okapatagili Marakoshi, the Kitchen, the Bazuka, Atata, yo hasho, Anatotoi, Atasatake, Asatate, Ashio, Mono Dochesha, Ukichitala Bo Akasa, ya. Atato Shushina Manada, ba, you are to do it. And the dinner totoke, Atata Bazuka, the gay, Ukapata Shotale to the Manada Quay, do Euro Derabatata, Ataderabatata, the Uruas in Kutata Manadocicia, Okapapa soy, Atashia Nano, Yatatoque, Yatatoy, Atadabazuki to the Manado Teshi to the Dijo, Yana Roca, do Akata Sote, Asatala Manado to the Bazuke, Atadabazuki, Tito Manatote, Atata Gini Manatote, Atata Gini Manatote, Titarani Setola, Zeko, ask you to play, Doctor Shitaramane, Papa, when you are to, oh, yeah, your daughter, Yerakisho, and Yarade. Oka de diano doke, a tete bazio, a ka naniciture, as a tete bazuri, as a teka, o aya nanatichu de la vita toy, doka, a tata dueca, a cogna, not as a debato to the bijoke, as a tete bato, a cayeta de batata boo, and the akokaki, a teacher the better today, as it didn't to the titure, as so, Akayato, Amana, Ohia Hoki, the DG, do, Mani Shokatate, Atata Nia Shokatate, Aya, a month to the better, as a go to the battle, after the minute of the digital, he didn't mean to the Bezecotore, do at that as a majority, Ato. Okay, as a Bezero, which element of Che, Catato City, at the middle of Chitter, Yakashita, Madame Rogere, do catch to the you are the cheated in the media. Atotoi, near to quite a caca, you are a shanagay. Otato, Anni, Aso, Anna, Aso, a cat, Asoe, Yanana Joy, a Akasotoy, a man notice.
Now here's Emma Dubb puts out, as I said, put out a number of videos, and they got very few hits, very few views, between 10 and 50 views. It basically has not been seen by anybody, and I'm not really identifying where this is on the internet. But it's she has one where she does the singing, where like Tress really doesn't know where what's going on, but is suddenly has this feeling that she has to sing this strange, non-human language.
Okay, singing has been coming to me lately, and even though I have a terrible voice and it sounds really odd, I do this off and on, and I'll just try to download a little bit here. Dan yang ya shui ya la yua doya mui wa doya nyu
Emma also does, as do many experiencers and many people doing light language, they do this automatic writing thing, which I mentioned with Francis Swan and with Nina. Emma also, and here's a complete video that she produced where she describes this light language and how she writes it, does not understand it like Nina, has no idea what she's writing, but her hand just writes by itself.
I'm going to try to hold this camera like this, but it'll be shaking and moving, but I don't know how else to get the whole picture in. But this is me writing, and I don't meditate or anything, it just comes in. Then I turn it over just to give my hand more support, so I write in this direction. I don't think it matters to them where it stops and where it ends, because like I said, like I've told before, it tends to it goes someplace once I get it down on paper, and I don't think it matters if I tear up the paper. Apparently the writing, or what is said in the writing's always going to be. It just is, and it's already recorded. It's almost sort of backhand, and it sort of has changed over the years. But that's the writing. See, it more or less goes that way or that way. And they put a lot of dots. For some reason, I'm dotting things in there, and I'm not quite sure why that is, unless there's extra emphasis, or it's like, I don't know, that it could be a period at the end of the sentence. But anyway, that's my writing, and I do have to hold the pen sometimes more or less. It's easiest to hold it like this, because I have more. If I were to write like this, you have to move like this, and that's not how they're grabbing it. They're wanting to use my whole, a lot more of this rather than this sort of thing. And it gives me better control, because it seems like they grab the pen and it just is taken control of. But I can't tell if it's like perhaps an outside source, or if it's actually just me, my higher self, doing it. Okay.
Now, the last video I want to show you is a video of a woman by the name of Alma. Alma is now deceased. She lived in Ontario, and she produced a number of drawings that have been associated with light language. She, like some of the others that we've shown earlier, just had her hand start to draw. She was a Christian woman, and most of what she was drawing was sort of Tibetan, East Indian, Hindu type stuff. And she really didn't believe what was going on, but she was in a situation where her hand would operate by itself. And there are some videos that show her smoking. She smoked, and she would smoke with one hand, and her other hand would just be painting and drawing these symbols and paintings of different things, or drawings of different East Indian, Tibetan culture things. And she'd be talking to somebody at the same time as her hand would just go. And she said it went, and she produced hundreds of these drawings. And it's the same sort of thing as this automatic writing thing. It's very dramatic when you see the stuff that she put out. And it has been associated by Phil Gruber, who is one of the top people on light language. And he directly relates what she was doing to the production of light language.
Well, I was sitting at my table one day drawing, I guess, and my hand seemed to pick out things by itself and do the drawing the way it wanted to.
Well, she told us what inspired her, all right. She said that she was told how to do this, and that she was not responsible for any of this. Her hand just went, and she said there were sometimes people up in the corner of the wall, and I'm not sure she used the word people, but there were things up there that spoke to her and told her what to do, and gave her a lot of guidance.
There was always something new and interesting, you see, and I hardly had time to examine that when it was finished before the next one got started. There must be spiritual guidance there. Something is doing it. Whatever it is, it's a power that pushes it.
That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking your time